The Nolan case keeps raising more questions, and some of the most important ones are coming from content creators dissecting the interviews and timelines. TikToker J Megan has been breaking down the interviews with the young men who describe themselves as Nolan's best friends, highlighting things that may deserve a closer look. That doesn't mean anybody has done anything wrong, but the details and inconsistencies matter. Listen carefully to what she picked up on, because she raises some interesting questions. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dons and donettes everywhere, it's your boy Morgan Heights in the building. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the hype button if you're watching on your mobile or tablet. Let's go.
They really didn't want you to see this video because they made it ineligible immediately so you wouldn't see it. So let's go through a speed run of the information. We can now definitively say that this is Jax. We can also now definitively say that this is Morgan. He's wearing the same hat as well as the same bracelets. So where were they on the Triton? Now that we've got a much clearer video thanks to Officer Tatum, it's obvious that there is nobody in an orange swimsuit or a paisley swimsuit on this boat.
Can I say, I actually think Officer Tatum is unknowingly creating even more question for Nolan Wells' so-called friends. I know he thinks these interviews are helping clear their names, but every time he allows them to elaborate, their answers seem to open the door to even more questions. Now, I'm not saying these young men are guilty of anything, but if these interviews are supposed to remove suspicion, I'm not sure they're having that effect. In fact, Officer Tatum might be unintentionally giving people following the case even more to examine.
We also barely see that there's somebody here in the red shorts. Now in this Katie Snapchat picture, I've been saying that there was somebody in the background here wearing red shorts. So I pumped up the exposure, and as you can see, it certainly looks like it. They seemingly have similar body types as well as similar hairlines. We also know that whoever was in the red shorts was also on the shoreline when the fight broke out. Now who was involved in that fight? Warren's brother, Carter. Carter, who trains in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And by Warren's own admission, his brother put someone in an arm bar. And in case you don't know what that looks like, go ahead and look at that placement on the back of the head there.
I have a theory, and I want to make it clear, this is only a theory. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. What if there was some kind of messing around or confrontation between the boys, and Nolan Wells was put in a headlock? Maybe things went too far, and tragically, he lost consciousness and passed away accidentally. The reason why this crossed my mind is because I was watching Dwight Howard interview Terrence Crawford, and they were actually talking about how dangerous something like a headlock can become. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened to Nolan, but when you're trying to understand what happened that day, I think every reasonable possibility raises questions worth examining. Let me show you the conversation I'm talking about.
You ain't never played that game when you put
No, I ain't let nobody put me to sleep, man.
So we used to. So when we was in school, somebody died like that.
What?
They hit their head, but we used to put people to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you know, you bend over, you take, you know what I mean, some breaths, and people cut your.
That's Nebraska shit, yo. That's Nebraska shit.
All over.
Yeah, no, we ain't never played that
We don't
game.
do that
We ain't
in-
never
no,
played that
no.
game.
I bet you they used to do that where you at. Man, that shit was worldwide. People used to just, you know what I mean?
We play open chess. I don't know if y'all remember that game. We play
Yeah.
open chess.
Just punch somebody in the chest, yeah.
Ask some of your
We
elders.
from the same place.
Ask some of your elders. Did they ever used to play the games where people put people to
Y'all was
sleep?
putting people to sleep.
Interesting, right?
Given Carter's height, build, body type, this looks like it could be him. But one blurry, underexposed picture is not solid proof of anything, right? But we know Warren grabbed his younger brother and had him come over hang out with them on their boat as they were sinking or whatever. And it would be pretty bad for their case if this was Carter on the Triton and then on Katie's boat at 6 o'clock.
Yo, you need to check out all this lady's content on TikTok. She is dissecting this whole thing on a real level. Now check out this other TikToker's comment.
Have y'all seen this photograph or this little comparison photograph? It's going around on social media. I got it over on Threads. This is Warren, one of the men that was on Horn Island with Nolan Wells. He's one of the friends of Nolan Wells. The picture on the left is when he did the interview with Race Batum Tatum about 2 weeks ago. The picture on the left. The picture on the right is from the interview that dropped yesterday on the 13th, I think, or maybe the 12th. Look at the difference between those two videos. 2-week difference. Baby. I don't know if he did something. I don't know if he knows anything. All I know is that the ancestors is tearing his ass up.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Y'all remember that movie Thinner? Yeah, that's what that looks like.
Warren Hudson has lost a noticeable amount of weight, and I'm not going to pretend I know why. People lose weight for all kinds of reasons: stress, exercise, change in diet, or things happen in their personal life. But given everything surrounding this case, I do wonder if he's carrying a heavy emotional burden. That doesn't mean guilt, and we shouldn't diagnose somebody just by looking at them. But physically, he looks very different to me. And when somebody changes that dramatically during a situation like this, naturally it raises questions. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate content creators who are continuing to dissect this case and ask questions, because ultimately, Nolan Wells' family deserves answers, and the public deserves to know what happened to him. Whether this turns out to involve foul play or tragic accident or something else entirely, we are going to continue following the evidence, asking questions and reporting on new developments. Peace and love, everybody. Look after your families. It's your boy Morgan Heights in the building. Like, share and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace.